Hi, my name is Sam Wallis, and today we'll be looking at the college application process. This is intended for teachers who are looking to advise their students on how to apply to college and how to get ready for that process, although students could benefit from this as well. By the end of this, teachers should know the steps involved in getting students into college and also some of the pitfalls and challenges that first generation college students will face, as well as students in schools that are under-resourced in their counselors departments. Although many of my students have gone off to some of the best colleges in the country, some of them have come back looking to transfer to easier or more local colleges. As I've seen more and more come back, I've realized the truth that Angela Duckworth and Paul Tough have been writing about, and that's the importance of character education. So I think before you even start on the college process or looking at ACT or SAT testing, really look and sit down with the student and talk about where they stand. Do they have grit that's going to overcome college challenges? Do they have the curiosity to go and seek knowledge at colleges and ask questions of professors? Do they have the self-control to have good study habits? These are the 7 traits that the KIPP schools in New York City have adopted as their character education program that they try to imbue in every student that graduates. Once you've worked with a student to determine that he or she has the character traits that are required at a college or university, it's important to help get that student get organized and develop the sort of soft skills that they'll need not only to get through the process, but which will also be useful later on in college. I'm a big fan of having students create a Gmail account with their first dot last name. That means that they have to get rid of some of those old Little Boosie Lover or Basketball Fan 29 at Yahoo. The reason I like Google is because you have an array of tools that you can use, especially Google Drive, as well as the Google Calendar, which is all integrated, especially if they have an Android device, but which also works on iPhone. I also like Google because you can integrate a to-do list, which is so crucial. Students need that practice of breaking every single to-do item down so that they can also feel the gratification of checking off each item as they get it done throughout the process. Next, I have students set their college goals and their career goals. I created a simple Google form which you could do easily so that all the data will go into your own Google Drive. And on this form I've included everything from where you want to go, what you're interested in, do you want a big or small school, do you want a city or a traditional campus, do you want it to be an HBCU, a historically black college, and what sort of fields interest you. I also collect information on students' activities, ACT score, and their goals so that we can tailor a program for them. Next, students have to decide whether they'll take the ACT, SAT, or the ASVAB if they're intended to enter the military. The green map here shows states where a majority of students take the SAT, whereas the blue map shows where a majority of students take the ACT. Primarily, my students in Mississippi have taken the ACT. Once students have taken their ACT, SAT, or ASVAB, we start to get organized in college. I have students look at least 6 colleges. 2 reach schools, which will be challenging for them to get into, 2 mid-range, which they have a fair shot at getting into, and then 2 safeties that they know they'll get into. I have them complete this simple form to look at each part of the application so that they don't miss any part of the process. As you can see, I have students focus on whether the university or college offers merit-based or need-based financial aid. Often students don't know the difference and therefore lose out on the opportunity to potentially get more financial aid at a selective small college than what they've been told they could get at a public or state university. During the application process, I check in with students about once a week. In my AP Government class, I have students every Friday is College Friday, where they work on applications and look at the different components of their essays. The common application could usually be answered by having students think about some challenges they've faced and have had to overcome. We've had very good success with those type of essays. I also have students think very strategically about who is the best suited to write their letters of recommendation. It's usually someone who can comment on a challenge or something they've had to overcome. Once students are accepted to college, first thing I do is cut out their letter of acceptance and put it on the wall. It's a great way to inspire younger students that'll be coming up. Then I have them create a bank account near wherever they are going to school, primarily a national bank, but it could be local as well. I provide them with a packing list. Many of our students have never been away from home, and so I provide them with a list of things they'll need at school. Next, I give them a website called Slug Books, which allows you to compare the cheapest books, used books online across Amazon, eBay, Half, and a bunch of other websites. I instruct them to create an account with Dashlane, which is a way to manage passwords. Students will be inundated with new accounts once they get to school. And finally, I remind them of everything we've done with to-do lists and calendars. So what we've just looked at are all of the individual steps that are required to get a junior or sophomore through the college preparation process and often ready to go to school. This was a very, very quick and brief introduction. I provided a lot more resources at my website, the link of which is attached, and all the research that supports some of the conclusions I've made here in this video.